Hi, y'all, it's me, Admiral Adorable, back here with Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. And we had just left off in the middle of a case, and so I need to not forget anything that happened, because I would never do such a thing. That's just ridiculous. I do wish there was a history button so I could remember what the last thing was said, but whatever. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly.
Miss Hawley, you will testify to the court about the gameplay between the victim and the defendant.
Right.
Duh.
So, you will recall, defendant Phoenix Wright has been accused of murdering Shady Smith, who is, because given they're shady and we don't really know their age or anything about this, and there's something very shady about the whole thing, and Smith is like such a nondescript name, it makes me wonder if this is all a setup and this guy didn't actually die, or he was already dead and this is just some kind of fake case made to test Apollo. The situation is whack. That's anyways what we're getting at. Alright, serious competition.
The game began with 3,500 point in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large.
Large? That's not easy to have a Russian accent. I'm not an accents guy. Sorry about this. Sorry about all of this. I have to do the accent though because it's Phoenix Wright. Everyone has an extra voice. Like an extra voice. Whether it's an accent that you're not good at or whatever.
The one who was winning. Duh, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and loose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs both of them table and...
Indeed. Look, I won't let you finish that. It probably wasn't important. Looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
Ah, how many times have I heard these words? Sorry, I just suddenly thought that maybe it wasn't recording. I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. A common tale, but true.
Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong.
I didn't notice actually anything else that was off about it. Game began with 3,500 point in chips. I mean, I don't know if... I don't personally know if that's what this is. Are these 500? Wait, okay, hang on. That's... If they are 500, then this is 1, 2, 3... Okay, that's not right. 200? 4, 6, 8, 10... 200. That would be 200, and if these are, I don't know what these, I don't know which ones are worth. They probably would have told me if it was required. This is a game for kids, and I'm basically a kid. I have the knowledge of a kid. The game began with 3,500 point in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning was the victim. For the last hand, defendant plays with all chips on the table and loses. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs the bottle table and... Remember, your first goal is to gather information.
Yes, sir. Look out, contradiction. Here comes justice.
Okay, yeah, they probably just want me to push on a bit of stuff so I can learn more. Again, with 3,500... Okay, maybe he'll have the context to ask what the point value is.
Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Duh, of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Of course. Please, maybe you could explain about these chips. Explain. What is there to be explained?
Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a motorcycle cop. Not a...
Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles, even? Yet, as I have been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chip. 100 points chip and 1,000 points chip.
Oh.
It is not money, duh.
Wait, which one's which? Justice?
Sir!
Don't you find her comment interesting?
In more ways than one, sir.
I'd have it added to her testimony myself.
Well, does the defense want the witness to add...
Yes, please. I would. Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with it. Well,
the count is wrong. What else where else could it be going?
Very well. Witness, if you would be so kind.
Your Honor.
One kind of chip is worth, there was 1,000. Two kinds in all. Okay, so no matter which one is which, that doesn't check out. If the small ones are 1,000, then this is over 4,000. If the big ones are 1,000, this is over. Yeah, that's just wrong.
Objection! You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals?
I mean, it wouldn't add up no matter which one was which.
Well, let's review what the witness told us.
Each man started with 30,500. Oh, okay. I thought there was 3,500 all. Okay, so that would make sense if it was three of the small ones and then 5 of the big ones. Yeah, because there are 10 big ones and yeah, okay. All right. But as it stands, no, that's wrong.
And the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points.
Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see, 3 plus 1, carry the 5.
They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. Yeah, because weren't there some on the floor or something?
If the big chips are worth...
Oh, wait, I don't know. I did a mix of Apollo and the judge there, sorry.
If the big chips are worth 1,000 points, and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up... How much is that? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why.
Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction.
Wait. The starting points were wrong. The chip count was wrong. The chip count? Well, I don't know what they mean. Well, wait. Or both were right and you're lying. Hang on. If the big ones were actually worth 1,000, then the starting count was wrong. Because it should have been 10,600. But if they're both... Well, wait. But what does it mean by chip count then? Because if they can't both be right. That doesn't make sense. I didn't hit that! I just hit the scroll wheel. What the heck? No. I didn't know the scroll wheel would... Well, we've chosen this now. We're gonna lose some health, but whatever. I didn't mean to pick that. Okay.
Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can be only one answer.
Well, what is it?
The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones.
Oh, I thought that's what wrong chip count meant. Okay, whatever. Never mind. I clearly didn't understand what they were trying to say there.
Madness! Utter madness!
Show me that photograph of the chips again.
6 small chips, 10 large chips. Yeah, so the 3,000, yeah, okay.
Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up.
Excellent work, Justice. Good thing I accidentally picked that, because I wasn't going to pick that one. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself.
Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing!
Indeed. The victim did have the larger number of chips.
Yeah, but that's not the... Sir, 4,000 is bigger than 2,900, or however many this is. Are we really in kindergarten?
Ah!
Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add the points for each side of the table. Ah! Ah!
The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and
I had 1,100 points.
Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Yag! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you?
Again, with that superhuman dexterity, while your eyes are closed. I guess that's more like intuition.
Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened.
Just to be clear, back there when it was the 3 choices and I was very confused about what they were saying, what was it? I thought it was saying either we counted the chips wrong, the starting value of 7,000 was incorrect, and the third option was the starting value was correct and we had the chips counted correctly. You know, I already forget and I've already confused myself. Never mind. Let's just say that I didn't have a point and I was being an idiot.
We must now ask ourselves... Excuse me? What is it, Miss Orley?
I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Holly? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. A cheat? You don't mean a trick?
Well, I think she means someone cheated.
Wait, oh, you mean a scam?
They're all the same thing. Yes, there was cheat in the last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great. Just great. First we have lying, now cheating.
Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting.
Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand.
Witness testimony, the final hand. So I guess that's hopefully closer to the end of this.
The last hand, both men had full house.
Which is 3 of one and then 2 of the other? Or I forget.
There is 4 of each card in the deck, from ace to king.
Okay, so ace, jack, queen, king. Oh wait, no, that's not in the hand, in the deck. Okay, hang on.
If you look at both men's hand, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers.
A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make, in my experience.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin, what's a full house?
Thank you for asking, Apollo, because I'm not up to snuff on my...
Lawyers these days, you don't even know your poker.
I can't say this bodes well for your case or career.
What is this, some kind of secret court poker ring?
Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes?
Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes a 3 of a kind.
Yeah, okay, that I knew. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. Oh wait, is poker not 5 card hands? Wait, 1 pair, okay. Okay, so I was right about what a full house is. That's a full house.
That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in the photo. Wow, they both have full houses. We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat?
Yeah, it does seem something curious about that. I think I'm gonna... Okay, the last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in the deck, from ace to king. So there's 3 kings here. There's something that disproves that over here. We don't have 4 kings. Oh, and here's all 4 aces. But that was, again, we decided that was fine because they're different suits. Is it suites or suits? Sorry, excuse me while I go, like, just try and recover any knowledge I have about any sort of card game. If you look at both men's hands, the cheat is more obvious. No, it's not. The next moment the game becomes argument, the defendant's trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
First she says it was a serious competition. Now she says there was cheating.
Justice, notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated.
Actually, yes, I had noticed that.
Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we?
Right, leave it to me.
I'm afraid it's not. 3 sevens, 1 2, 1 whatever this is, 4 aces. There are 4 of each, as you said. Maybe I have to present this evidence, but I'm just going to push on this moment once.
Hold it! How is it clear? Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace.
The fuck are you talking about? 1 2 3 4. No, that is not correct.
A 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith...
Okay, I see where the confusion is.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2. Obviously, cheating was afoot. Or perhaps I should say, a hand.
Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony? Without Mr. Payne's joke.
Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. And the defense attorney will now point out the bullshit, if you would.
5 aces and all? I'm afraid not. Unless they're going to tell me that that's one in the corner over here is an ace of hearts.
I'm afraid that's wrong. It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony.
That's the photo of the chips, is it not?
Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point.
Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony?
Oh, she said that the loser boy had the 3 aces, so I guess I got a point over here. I'm afraid. Oh,
Take that! Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. That's no 3rd ace, you dipshit! Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating all right, and it's going on right here in this courtroom.
2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Good to see that my math is still intact after the 3rd equation we've done in this one single trial. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day.
you're right to trust your instincts.
Mr. Gavin?
Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion.
What that...
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards?
The cards?
Mr. Payne.
Yes!
The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Oh, they were? Wait, what? No, why did we not have that already? That seems like that would be important.
Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards?
If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious?
Oh, I guess, okay. I'm playing this on an Android emulator on my PC, so I can actually record it. And I bought it on the Play Store. So I guess the reason scrolling counted as tapping it was because it's like you'd have to put your finger on the screen to... Okay, whatever. The victim's hand was the one that we called into question. But Ms. Orley claims that that Phoenix's hand was the one where the wrongdoing happened. I mean, I'd like them both. I guess we could start with the victim's hand to see if maybe the hand was changed beforehand. Although this is the one where we think the cheating's going on. Well, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We'll take a little damage. Okay, victim's hand.
It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards.
Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Oh, it is as it was in the photograph. Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, whoa, hey, whoa there.
What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand.
What was that, Miss Orley?
No, I merely said, I have...
Your Honor.
Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat?
I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. God damn it. The dealer.
Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley?
She's the cheater. Professional, I'd wager.
Order! Order!
Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage. I mean, of her mistake.
I can't say that. Sorry.
Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat not only with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What?
Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you?
Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder. Yeah!
Oh, maybe it's just maybe the plate and the pot are just magic, and it's got nothing to do with her.
Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice,
Your Honor.
it seems you've presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
And that means...
This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What? I did it. I held out.
I see no point in prolonging this trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
That was Phoenix.
Mr. Wright. You can't end the trial here, Your Honor.
Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night.
Oh, okay, there's another testimony or what?
As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before!
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored back to prevent cheating?
If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You'd use different colors and they still got mixed up.
We used the red deck for the last game.
I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure Olga said that.
Whatever! In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was...
Oh, wait, this was the victim's hand, right? Which could mean that the 4 red cards are the ones that are cheating. Or wait, no, but Olga said she put that in... That blue... Oh, she was trying to slip a 3rd ace into... Oh, okay, to make it look like you... okay.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck.
A card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. That doesn't make sense.
Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions.
Apollo?
Yes, let's consider the first question, shall we?
Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped?
When?
There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped?
When was the card swapped into the deck?
Well, I mean, Orly said she swapped it into his hand, so probably before the murder. Oh wait, but that was the victim's hand, yes? And Orly said she swapped it into Phoenix's hand, so maybe it was swapped... Or maybe she just panicked and put it in the wrong one, but during the murder.
Well, weren't they swapped during the murder?
During the murder? Tell me, exactly when is that?
Huh? Well, the very moment of the act, I guess.
Would that be the moment the cards were shown? Or perhaps the moment when the cheater was revealed?
Or maybe the very moment the bottle came down on Mr. Smith's head.
Could I have a moment?
That moment could cost you this case.
Sorry, let me rethink this.
Okay. That makes... Okay, so, I was just thinking maybe she ran over there and tried to swap cards around to make it look like someone was winning or losing, but she, like, screwed it up. Well, like, it doesn't look like it's gonna penalize me for getting the wrong one here. And the weird thing I'm trying to get my head around with this is if it was Orly, then why did Phoenix just, like, casually walk on out of there and call the police, and why did Orly let it? I just gotta do what Apollo's doing. I mean, before the murder makes the most sense. No, it would have to be after, because whoever the other player would have seen it, the back of the card. Okay, we call it, so it would have to be after.
Perhaps it happened after the murder. What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
To frame someone.
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh? Even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time.
Ah, quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder.
Oh, okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
There's another?
Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who?
The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room. Alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley.
Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card in for a blue?
Well, Olga.
Why, it must have been Olga Orley who swapped the cards. She was trying to cover up evidence of cheating.
That does make some sense.
Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. Huh? The swapped card was from the wrong deck.
Oh, so she would have had to... Wait. No? They were played with blue cards. You said it yourself.
Yes, a blue card was stuck into a red hand.
Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colors? Remember that you're talking about Olga Orley. She was the dealer. Do you really think she would make such a novice mistake? Actually, I have trouble even imagining even the judge making that mistake. Give a little more thought, Apollo. Right.
Yeah, in later cases, if I was screwing up the logic elements of this, like not even just presenting wrong evidence, but just like getting these answers wrong, they would be messing with me. Well, you said it yourself that Phoenix, that it was a mistake that a novice wouldn't make, and you claim to be a 7-year expert. I guess not at dealing, but so I guess it was someone else.
The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either.
What are you suggesting?
That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit.
As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at point.
Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun this all is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the cards wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it?
Precisely.
Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction.
A new direction?
We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes.
I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card.
Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king.
Oh, so there was a fifth ace in the first place. Wait, I thought the blue one was an ace. Oh no, the blue one was one of the kings. My bad. Okay. It's even sticking out from the rest and all. Okay. I mixed it up. I flipped my sides around. My bad.
I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. What?
Yeah, what?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption?
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is a problem, yes.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Cavan, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes.
This is very... What is with that painting? Was that in all the games? No, that can't be. April 20th, 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth?
Well, now, I think you'd know the answer to that.
Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mystery.
Were you there, Christoph?
Mr. Gavin, I mean?
I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome.
I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph.
Justice?
Yes, sir.
The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me.
I guess so. Jesus Christ. You did well, Apollo. Thanks. Can I ask you for something?
Sure.
That locket you wear, Is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. Cool. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. So if... Okay, well, anyways. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago? What I did? It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. What did you do in court, Phoenix? Did you forge evidence? What did you know that, whatever. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Huh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law? Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information, especially when they're static 2D sprites. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who noticed that?
Well, I just thought that she was just doing it because she was nervous.
Words, habit, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will. Soon. Almost forgot. One more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it. I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. That's such a weird thing for me. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best.
To be continued.
Oh, dear. I think that's a perfect place to stop. Oh man. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to keep all that stuff about cards in my head brain. Why are you lying so much, Phoenix? What happened to you, man? I just got all these questions. I believe that the person in the locket shown there is Trucy Wright, because I've heard of her, but I don't know her actual relation to Phoenix Wright. Obviously, he's claiming she's his daughter. I don't know if that's true. I thought I heard she was his cousin somewhere, but I guess we'll figure it out next time on Apollo Justice. So thank you again so much for coming with me, and hopefully next time we'll get to the bottom of this and we'll absolve Mr. Wright. And we won't lose any health. We didn't lose any health this time because the game is pulling all its punches. But we'll see. Thank you so much for coming around. Admiral's gonna be out of here. I'll see you around then. Peace. Well, Exile has its perks, but all in all, I'm saying I think a mixed bag is how I'd describe it. All right, let's at least get Lloyd up a level. Okay, 474. We're not gonna get that quickly. So let's get Lloyd up a level. Actually, I guess Lloyd will just get up a level.